Early in each legislative session, the President of the United States makes the short trip down Pennsylvania Avenue to the U.S. Capitol. Beyond the pomp and pageantry of the evening, the Commander-in-Chief comes to fulfill an important constitutional duty to keep Congress informed on the state of the Union. The President's annual message to Congress is a time-honored tradition in American politics. It's a chance for the nation's chief executive to report to Congress on the challenges and opportunities facing the nation, and to take his or her case directly to the American people. George Washington delivered the first State of the Union to assembled legislators at Federal Hall in New York City in January 1790. At the time, it was called the Annual Message to Congress. It was a short speech, perhaps no more than 10 minutes, but it was a big deal. The State of the Union has its origins in the U.S. Constitution. As part of the system of checks and balances, Article 2, Section 3 mandates that the President shall from time to time give to the Congress information of the State of the Union, and recommend to their consideration such measures as he shall judge necessary and expedient. Although the Constitution doesn't mandate an annual report, Washington established a precedent. From that point forward, the President's message would be delivered to Congress once a year. Neither does the Constitution say just how the State of the Union should be delivered. Washington and his successor, John Adams, addressed Congress in person. In 1801, Thomas Jefferson sent a written message to Congress, a tradition that continued for more than a century. Fast forward to 1913, when Woodrow Wilson revived the spoken address. It was a controversial idea at the time, but it reflected Wilson's view of presidential power and how the occasion could be used to win support for his agenda. In Wilson's day, the speech reached the public through newspapers or magazines. The advent of radio in the 1920s and television in the 1940s made the President's message even more immediate and influential. In the 1990s, President Bill Clinton noted another mass media milestone.
This is the first State of the Union carried live in video over the Internet.
It's surprisingly rare for the President to deliver a speech before both houses of Congress. To make it happen, both the House and Senate must pass a resolution authorizing the so-called joint session. Then the Speaker of the House formally invites the President. In 2019, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi famously disinvited the President during their public showdown over a government shutdown. Previously, the State of the Union had been postponed only one other time, when the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded on the date of Ronald Reagan's 1986 address. Presidents typically use the State of the Union address to brag about their accomplishments, admonish the opposing party, or outline national priorities. Only a handful have made a lasting impression. In 1823, James Monroe articulated the Monroe Doctrine that opposed European colonialism in the Americas. At the dawn of the Civil War, Abraham Lincoln argued that freeing the enslaved and preserving the Union were inseparable. In 1941, President Roosevelt evoked the 4 freedoms that people everywhere in the world ought to enjoy. And in 1964, Lyndon Johnson declared war of another kind.
And this administration today, here and now, declares unconditional war on poverty in America.
The State of the Union has become a powerful rhetorical weapon for the President. But it's also an important reminder that the executive is one of 3 co-equal branches of government that must work together for the benefit of the American people.